Time travel is among the biggest mysteries of all time. We have watched many sci-fi movies where time travel seems to be possible. There are also a bunch of videos over the internet about interviews of time travelers. But we can't actually tell which one of them is true. So the real question that arises is time travel really possible? And even if it is possible, then how can we travel in time? In today's video we will answer these questions. And for those of you who don't even know what time travel is, then you have reached the right place. So without further ado, let's get started. Many people believe that time travel is not real. It is just a fictional concept. Well, the truth is that time travel is half real and half fiction. In October 1971, two young scientists Hafele and Keating did a small experiment, in which they took 4 atomic clocks and kept 2 of them inside the plane. They then flew the plane over the Earth. And after they landed it, they found that there was a difference in nanoseconds in all clocks. Now I know most of you might be thinking that such a minor difference must be due to some technical error. But let me tell you that atomic clocks are the most accurate clocks. So, what do you think, which clock became slower than the other? The clocks which were kept inside the plane became slower than those which were not. This difference in time was due to time dilation. Time dilation explains why 2 working clocks will report different times after different accelerations. For example, time goes slower at the ISS, lagging approximately 0.01 seconds for every 12 Earth months passed. This experiment was done on a small scale. Now imagine what would happen if we do this on a large scale. Imagine what if we traveled at 95% speed of light for 3 years. First of all, building a spaceship that can achieve that much amount of speed without using a large amount of fuel is impossible. Now let us ignore all these facts and assume that we are somehow successful in creating a spaceship that can travel at speed of light without using a large amount of fuel. And now we are on our spaceship out on our voyage for 3 years. We see our planet Earth passing by. We are moving so fast that now time has slowed down for us. According to Einstein's special theory of relativity, which states time slows down as an object travels faster. So in this case, as we are traveling at 95% speed of light, time will slow down for us. While for those who were present on Earth, time will be moving at the normal rate. Now 3 years have passed and we have returned to our home planet safely after traveling for so long. Now as we have traveled a long distance with light speed, so we are going to experience time dilation, but with a more adverse effect. For us only 3 years have been passed. But for Earth 900 years have been passed. And after landing we will fail to recognize our home planet. That's because we have traveled in time to the future. But the problem is that we can't return back to the present. So this is how we travel ahead in time. But as I already told you that we can't achieve speed of light. So traveling to the future is only mathematically possible and not physically. Now let's talk about traveling back in time or time travel to the past. Einstein's general theory of relativity that gave birth to wormholes allows us to travel back in time. Let us imagine that this straight line is the space-time continuum. This is the present. This is the past. And this is the future. Now let us curve this line. We will get something like this. And this is what is a wormhole. A wormhole connects the present to any period of time. So if you are inside a wormhole you can travel in time. But this sounds fictional, as no one has ever seen a wormhole in real life, so we can't tell whether they really exist or not. This is one of the main reasons why scientists believe that time travel to the past is highly unlikely. Grandfather paradox is another reason why traveling back in time is impossible. It's really difficult to understand. But I'm here to make sure that you can understand it. Let us imagine that you create a time machine. And you decide to travel back in time to meet your grandfather. But not as an old man but as a young man. Now you decide to kill your grandfather. So now your grandfather is dead. Which means that your father will never be born. And if your father is never born, then it's clear that you'll never be born. And if you're not born, then you'll not create a time machine to travel back in time to kill your grandfather. But wait a minute. If you don't travel back in time, then your grandfather is alive. And your father will be born. And if your father is born, so you'll be born too. And if you are born, so you'll create the time machine and travel back in time. And if you go back in time, so you'll kill your grandfather again. And if your grandfather is dead, so you'll be erased from existence. This is all messed up. And if one thing changes, the whole timeline gets disrupted. This is disobeying the fact that space-time is a straight line. There is also a possibility that a thing like grandfather paradox might not even exist. It's just how twisted our thinking can get. This highly messed up paradox has led scientists to believe that time travel to the past is impossible. But when we look back in time, we see that we have achieved so many things in past 30 years that were once impossible. So we can expect that we might even be able to travel in time in the future. So friends, if you get a chance to travel in time, would you like to go back in past and fix some mistake? Or would you travel to the future to find how some important decisions of your life would turn out? So that was one of the biggest mysteries of all time. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learnt something new. This is me, Dave, and it's time for me to go to bed. Thanks for watching.